Tuesday. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Marlon Bowling with you as we get ready for our daytime session here, and we call on Rich Nelson of Allendale Incorporated to take a look at what to expect in today's trade. Overnight, we seem to have a little firmer trade in the grain markets, at least on the corn and soybean trade here. Rich, what's on your mind this morning? What's going to be the key feature to watch for?
Still, the dryness discussion for Argentina is still valid right now. A lot of people suggesting that, yeah, maybe it's a little late in the season, but still, it's could have some problems here for us these next few days. And as of right now, still getting a lot of minor support here on the soybean side here because of this.
What is going down in South America right now? I mean, there should be a lot of harvest activity taking place in a lot of areas.
That sure is right, and that will be an issue lined up, in fact, all the way through April as well. So we certainly will have a lot of these discussions as the weeks go on, as we certainly will see a larger portion of the crop itself brought in. So yes, we are in harvest. It's still early here for most of the crop, but still as it stands, this is in the later development stages right now.
Of course, this is going to be a short trading week. We do not have any trade on Friday because that will be Good Friday. There are no markets trading that day. Thursday is going to be a big day, though, with the quarterly grain stocks, the prospective plantings numbers, the quarterly hogs and pigs report coming out. The first one, the quarterly grain stocks report, we have some early estimates based on a survey done by the Wall Street Journal. And here's a look at what the average trade guess is. For the corn, they're looking at 8.71 billion bushels, soybeans 2.04 billion, and the wheat at 1.49 billion. Rich, normally does this report have a lot of market impact?
Yes, and I would actually say that very often, the quarterly grain stocks numbers have more of a price movement here, more of a price determination than the prospective planning. So certainly on the corn, where quarterly grain stocks are used to more or less fill in the blanks for unknown feed residual demand in the previous quarter, this is pretty darn important. Yes, it certainly is.
Okay, speaking of the prospective plantings numbers, we have the average guesses for those too. And on the corn, the average trade guess is hovering around 89.35 million acres, soybeans at 90.92. The all wheat category, 46.48 million. We have the winter wheat divided out at 32.56 million acres, and the spring wheat at 11.55. Now, you can tell compared to last year on the corn, it looks like we're almost 1 million less. On the soybeans, not quite 1 million more. So is that the general trade consensus here this year? It seems like it has been that way for a while now.
I would certainly say so, and I think right now the only real discussion point is whether you're suggesting that corn acres will drop 500,000 acres or 1.5 million acres here. So I think on this one, certainly this changing prospects based on concerns about margins still a strong issue here.
Now this is based on a survey done early this month, right?
It certainly was. And so this is more or less as of March 1, meaning a few days before then and a few days afterwards.
The reason I ask is because of the wet pattern that we have seen established from eastern Texas through the lower Mississippi and then up through the core of the Corn Belt. And I'm starting to hear more and more murmuring about the fact that, boy, it's just so soggy out there, and it looks like maybe another week or two of more of the same. There could be a delayed planting season this year. Does that make folks wonder how concrete these numbers will be for corn planting?
I think it's something right now which is a part of the discussion and probably will be more so, in fact, in the coming weeks as well. But probably as it stands right now, I don't know if we're going to have much of a change just yet on these numbers. Certainly as we get into this mid-April period, I think maybe we'll have a more serious discussion about them.
All right. Well, Rich, we'll bring you back a little later in the show and talk more about the markets. Our guest has been Rich Nelson. He's with Allendale Incorporated. And we're going to talk about our livestock industry when we come back right after this.